Okay, this is Moshe coming to you from Israel, and it's Saturday, and it's about 11:20 in the morning. The war has been going over 4 hours. The Israeli jets just recently started dropping bombs on Gaza, probably the locations where the rockets/missiles have been launched from. Gaza fairly quickly retorted to Israel, let's do an immediate ceasefire and enter into a prisoner exchange. They claim 35 live prisoners, which are civilians, women, children, men, and Israeli soldiers, plus dead bodies of Israeli civilians and soldiers. Mostly soldiers, I think. They will more than likely want at least 3,000 prisoners, if not more. They'll want to empty the jails out. They did break into an Israeli jail full of terrorists 10 kilometers from Gaza and freed the terrorists. There's fighting in several locations. The IDF special forces have been mobilized, and they're engaging heavily the terrorists inside Israel. They're inside many places of Israel. They've gone into the settlements, the cities, the towns, the mashavs, the kibbutzes. People lock themselves in their houses, and they put the houses on fire to drive the people out so they could shoot them and take the captive. There's people holed up in bomb shelters. The Israeli bomb shelters, I have one. I have two. I have an old one from around 1948 and a modern one. The modern ones have a big window that's about 3/4 of an inch or an inch thick of cold rolled steel. It's going to be impervious to bullets. And you can open it from the outside with a tool in case Israelis get stuck, the bomb shelter collapses in part and need to be rescued. However, there are ways to secure it from inside. You can weld on a loop and, attach it to the wall, which is concrete, hardened concrete. And the doors are very, very strong and solid. Now, I don't think they'll sustain very well against RPGs, but they would probably take one anyway. It depends on the model of RPG, rocket-propelled grenade, but multiple attacks might knock it down. It's designed to maintain against bombs, so it's going to hold up against an RPG or two, I suppose. The bomb shelter is not really burnable. You're not going to get anywhere trying to burn it. I mean, they could take mountains of firewood, 8 feet, 10 feet high, and put it all around the place and light it up, and the temperature and the gas inside would probably drive the people out, but I haven't heard of anything like that going on. The IDF is now mobilized and beginning to rescue these villages that got overrun. They came in with parasails. Those are like a motor on a parachute. They came in from there. They came through the Gaza fence on foot, on vehicles, and on motorcycles. There was even one incident where a Gaza reporter went into one of the occupied towns and did a news broadcast. Civilians walked out of Gaza into the parts that the terrorists have occupied. I do not know what Netanyahu is going to do. He's an idiot. You got to understand that. And he has hidden agendas all over the place. You got to understand that. Will he go for the prisoner exchange? No, he didn't stop the bombings or anything like that. Basically, they'd want us to empty the jail of practically all the terrorists, or all of them, for 35 hostages. And I don't think the Israeli community is up for anything like that. This could be the beginning of Ezekiel 34, or at least it's an event leading to it for sure. And Netanyahu could be expected to do the wrong thing, and his response will be overly moderate. The only correct response at this point is to invade Gaza by land. Tanks, armored personnel carriers, mobile artillery, 25,000 soldiers, and just go door to door and dismantle all the terrorist groups, Hamas and PIJ. You've got to take their ammo away, their guns, their bombs, their factories to make munitions, their ammo depot, their computers, their tunnels, storage facility, offices, demolish everything. You don't have to go hunt and round them up, just leave them there. And then nobody comes into Gaza for work anymore. And you reinforce the fences and put more tanks and armored personnel carriers up there, sensors and so forth, that type of thing. The IDF is preliminarily talking about a heavy attack against Gaza. Now, I don't think they themselves have decided if they want a ground attack or air attack. I mean, air attack only. The ground attack would be preceded by a heavy air attack. Our casualties would be very light, if any. I don't know what he's going to do. Getting the hostages back is going to be not viable because they'll keep them in a facility with explosives, and if it looks like the facility is going to be overrun, they'll just blow the hostages up or shoot them or cut their heads off or whatever they're going to do. They're not going to, easily. It's not going to be easy for the special forces to attack the compound and get the hostages out alive. So the only way that they're really going to get out is if Netanyahu agrees to a prisoners exchange. And if they said, we have 35 of yours, give us 35 of ours, that would be one thing. But I can assure you the least it would be as many hundreds, and it's probably going to be 3,000 or something like that. And I don't believe Israel's going to do that, because it's setting a precedent. Then they'll just continue terrorist attacks because we don't death penalty these guys. They'll be in prison. They'll do another thing, capture more civilians and soldiers and do it all over again. So these people are basically lost unless God intervenes. The scriptures that come to mind is in Zechariah 11, I think it is. They shall swoop down on the shoulders of the Philistines. And then we read of Jordan getting it next. So the next country to kick into gear, which could be today or tomorrow or something like that, is Jordan. And there's another scripture. It's either Zechariah 11 or Isaiah 11, I think. It says, Lebanon, open your doors, let the cedars of Lebanon burn. And that also is associated with Jordan. So it might be Lebanon and Jordan. It's too soon to tell if these prophecies are the ones. It really is too soon to tell. It's only a few hours old. We don't know the direction this is going. Hamas has lost their appetite for pushing the fight since the planes started bombing. The Israeli people are infuriated. This never should have happened. This means that Shin Bet, which is sort of like the FBI in Israel, Mossad operates outside of Israel, Shin Bet inside Israel. Military intelligence and the police all got fooled, and that's a little bit difficult to understand because the flow of rockets in a few hours was in the thousands. So rocket launches had to be set up around Gaza strategically with supplies of rockets and missiles. And Israel has superb intelligence, and they have many informants inside Gaza, and they should have known this. And it's hard for me to believe that they didn't know this. See, the red alerts are still going off. The rockets are still flying from Gaza. So something's wrong here. The people know it. The media is talking about it. And we'll have to see how this develops. I'll keep doing updates periodically, let you know what's going on. But now Israel seems to be getting more and more back into control. Thanks.